right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss good night. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Thursday night, or maybe even Friday some places? I don't know. Red Bill wants to know what shirt I have on today. Today's shirt is brought to you by Sing It, Tom. Yeah, baby, baby, baby. This is a shirt for like a fishing tournament. There's the Gully family seal, and then there's Team Gully here. Team Gully. You get that better? Team Gully. It's a sweatshirt. Hey, like, share, subscribe, do all that free stuff if you possibly could. And then if you want to donate, so many people have been so kind and so generous and have donated at paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. And it's this week we've gotten a couple donations which have been wonderful. Terry Need was one of those people. And I believe, I want to say Julian Zeezer as well. And man, I so appreciate it, because here's the thing. I like to pile on sometimes during the Rico or the BS show. And by the way, I am going to tell you about the London beer flood today. Oh, you're going to love this. But I pile on and I ridicule a certain person that may or may not have worked for a large radio show and one of the late night institutions in this great, big, beautiful land of ours. And then it occurred to me today while I was piling on that... well, that guy makes a ton more money than I do at this. So, where's that sharp knife I keep around here? Is that nearby? So, yeah, I don't know. Randy Ramos says the chef is in the house. And on that note, the chef has been kind enough to send us. And by the way, Randy, put where you work now in the chat. Because you've worked at a lot of different places, and we always like to publicize those in case people do go to Indianapolis. They can sample some of your wear. Look at that. Look at that. That's pot stickers there. Ooh, mama, I'm so hungry now. I am so hungry now. But there's another of the chef's fine creations right there. So yeah, there you go. Chef is on deck. That is true. Diana's saying hello to everyone in the chat, which is only appropriate. And, we got us a hell of a show planned for tonight. Hell of a show. Randy is working at Nevermore in the Union Station in Indianapolis, which is a wonderful place. Gonna say on Illinois. On Illinois, maybe. Just south of the Circle by about 2 or 3 blocks in the downtown. Wonderful area. Wonderful area. Is that Illinois? I think it's Illinois. I could be wrong. It's a couple blocks south of St. Elmo's. So, on the one side of it. I think the other side of it might straight up be on Meridian. I'm not sure. It's been a while. But we got a hell of a show planned for you. So please like, share, subscribe, spread the word, and then paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. And then, of course, our Patreon, which is down in the scroll there. Scroll. And it's only $3 a month. And I put things on there that I'm too scared to put on, the regular internet that's publicly available for the world. So there we go. Good evening, says Lyndon. I'm interested in this beer flood, says Benefits. Well, the map for the beer flood is right behind me here. Right directly behind me. That's the place it occurred. If you're familiar with London, you'll know just where it happened. So let me get this set up real quick. I don't know if I have extra time on the show today, and I'm sure I'll do it sometime soon. I hesitate to do this. I really hesitate to do this. However, I will show you something in video that will repulse and amaze you at the same time. It's a thing. I can't dedicate a whole show to it because it's not really a subject. It's just one of those YouTube sort of genres that you happen upon that you didn't know existed. And yeah, there you go. SG Fanboy, who very generously donated to us, says, hey, my Nogas. Diane O'Brien says, I was just looking hard. I thought it was London. It is London. And I've been told they like some beer in London, if not the UK in general. Reverend Wild Bill says, repulse and amaze. Would it be 2 girls, 1 cup? No, it would not be. No, but it's on YouTube, so it could never be that, but it might be that, yeah, it's... We'll see. Randy, where? Union Station, am I right? A couple blocks south, Illinois? Come on, man. Help a brother out. I showed your pot stickers and everything. Man, that looks good. Let's see here. Sonic Asylum Radio, of course, is a very good friend of ours. They have been for years and years now. And I love those guys. They play my show on their Facebook page and their website, which you can see the address right there, sonicasylumradio.com, has tons and tons of great heavy metal programming. If you like heavy metal, you're going to love them. You're going to hear a lot of new stuff. And then Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria on the weekend. You can't get any better than that. So there you go. Randy Ramos says you're correct on both because it's at large. Yeah, the Union Station's really big. So it probably goes all the way over to Meridian. It's got a big courtyard in the middle. It used to be a train station, a Union Station, but now it's commercial stuff. Oh man, Man, oh man, oh man. Iris Charisse is here. Just a very dear friend of mine. She and I had a mutual friend, and we've chatted online so many times. She's a devastatingly beautiful woman, a very talented artist. She's over there in Australia. She's another one of our Australian viewers. And she's also a very, very, very talented fine artist. And if I was smart, I would get a passport and a work permit, and I would pack up everything I own, and I would move to Australia, and I would live with Iris Charisse and be happy for the rest of my life. I really would. Brett Hollywood Show. I don't listen to podcasts. Yeah, I don't listen to them either, especially this one. And you know what else? Here's the thing. People say, well, when you listen to the show back, did you hear this or hear that? I don't listen to these again. I don't listen to these again. Iris says, nice to see you, my dear. Yes, well, yes, exceptionally, yes. Of course, splendid, says Sven Dunkel. We've got a real international following here tonight because we have Diana O'Brien from Shrewsbury, Shropshire. And, of course, Sven Dunkel, international man of mystery, who's either in the Netherlands or Germany, building boats. And then we have Iris Charisse. What the hell is that all about? And then we have Iris Charisse, of course, who is in Australia, but she is Brazilian. So there we go. She said, you're so very kind. Nope, just the facts, ma'am. Yes, I miss our Greg. My home is your home always. Easy on that. I might take you up on that one day. But we're very good friends with a renowned comic book illustrator and painter named Greg Theakston. If you go to thetomgullyshow.com, you'll find a number of podcasts where I talked to Greg, and Greg tragically passed away, I believe, about 5 years ago. It might be 4. And Greg was a mentor to us both and a good friend to us both, and tremendous guy, and gone too soon. So Randy Ramos says, was that a proposal? If she wants it to be, next time she's over here, if she ever comes over to the States, she better come visit. At any rate, we got a hell of a show. Let me tell you about the great London beer flood. Beer. Who doesn't like a beer? I mean, lots of people love a beer. I don't drink, but man, if there's one thing people like, it's beer. I know most people never would turn down a beer. They just can't get enough beer. Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. When you say bud, you've said a lot of things that nothing else can say. You know, all that. My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. East side, west side, all across the town. Rheingold Extra Dry Beer is the beer of great renown. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Tastes great, less filling. I mean, I could go on and on and on. The Budweiser Clydesdales. I mean, come on. Well, boy, oh boy. Beer, well, sometimes can be deadly. And this is one of those times that beer is deadly. So, yeah. But those look like two pretty good beers to me. They look German. They look German. Stacey Allen's here. She says, we're getting our gully on. Yeah, you are. Benefit says, I'll drink an extra beer for you, Tom. You do that for me, brother. Reverend Will says, sorry, I don't drink. And Iris says, you must come over to try Australian beer. Yes, we have no alcohol beer, too. If I'm over in Australia, Iris, I'll have better things on my mind than beer. That much I can tell you. Okay, let's just get this party started. Travel with me, will you? Travel back, way back, into the 1800s. In the early 19th century, the Meaux brewery, yes, it's Meaux, it's M-E-U-X, brewery, was one of the two largest breweries in London, along with Whitbread. And around 1809, Sir Henry Meaux purchased the Horseshoe Brewery at the junction of Tottenham Court Road. And by the way, anytime I have to say Tottenham, I have to take a drink and wash the taste out of my mouth. Tottenham and Arsenal are bitter, hated rivals. And Oxford Street. By the way, it's no, coincidence that a disaster happened with the word Tottenham in it. Let me see if I can find how to pronounce this damn. I'm just going to keep saying Mew. Mew. I'll say Mew. Sir Henry's father, Sir Richard, previous owned another brewery, and he bought this one. So, the brewery that his father had a giant vat for brewing the beer, and it was the largest vat in London. And hey, if that's not a prized title, I don't know what is. And Henry wanted to emulate his father's big vat. And so he constructed a 22-foot tall vat capable of holding about 18,000 barrels. Okay, and it took like 81 metric tons of iron just to strengthen the vat. Now, he only brewed porter, which is a dark beer and was the most popular drink there in London. And they brewed over 100,000 imperial barrels of beer in just 12 months prior to July of 1812. So the porter, that style of beer, was left in the large vats, the vessel, to mature for several months or up to a year in the best quality versions of the porter. So at the rear of the brewery ran New Street, which is just a little cul-de-sac that joined on to Diet Street and covered an area of about 8 acres. And it was kind of a slum, okay? Right near a brewery. Go figure. Well, then came the day of the 17th of October in 1814. And at around 4:30 in the afternoon, the brewery's storehouse clerk saw that one of the 700-pound iron bands around one of the vats had slipped, okay? And the big vat, the 22-foot tall one, was filled to within 4 inches of the top, okay? It was super full. And that contained over 3,500 imperial barrels of a 10-month-old porter. So it was a really good porter. And they had, getting close to 4,000 imperial barrels. Barrels, mind you. Well, as the bands tended to slip off of these vats a couple of times a year, the clerk was unconcerned. He told his supervisor about it, but was told no harm whatever would ensue. And he was told to write a note to Mr. Young, who was one of the partners in the brewery, and they would have it fixed later. About an hour after this, the clerk was standing on a platform 30 feet from the vat, holding the actual note that he had written to Mr. Young, when the whole thing burst. The force of the beers being released knocked off the stopcock, the spigot, from a neighboring vat, which also began spewing its contents. Several tons of porter were destroyed, and their contents all over the floor. Between 128,000 and 323,000 gallons were released. The force of all this beer destroyed the rear wall of the brewery, which was 25 feet tall and about 2.5 bricks thick. So if we say a brick is about this big, about 2 feet thick at least. Some of the bricks from the back wall were knocked upwards and fell on to roofs of houses nearby. A wave of this porter, this beer, some 15 feet high, swept into New Street, this cul-de-sac, where it destroyed 2 houses, badly damaged 2 others. In one of the houses, a 4-year-old girl, Hannah Bamfield, was having tea with her mother and another child. The wave of the beer swept the mother and the second child into the street. Hannah was killed. In the second destroyed house, a wake was being held. A wake was being held by an Irish family for a 2-year-old boy. Anna Seville, the boy's mother, and 4 other mourners, Mary Mulvey and her 3-year-old son, Elizabeth Smith and Catherine Butler, were killed. Eleanor Cooper, a 14-year-old servant, died when she was buried under the brewery's collapsed wall while she was watching pots in the pub's yard. Another child, Sarah Bates, was found dead in another house in New Street. The land around the building was sort of low-lying, and it was flat. With insufficient drainage, the beer flowed into cellars, many of which were inhabited by people, and people were forced to climb on furniture to avoid drowning. Everyone in the brewery survived, although 3 workmen had to be rescued from the rubble. The superintendent and one of the workers were taken to Middlesex Hospital with 3 other people. Okay? Now, here's a little sort of artist rendering of, sort of the devastation and the woe that befell these people who really just had the bad misfortune to live next to the brewery. Stories later, over the next few days, came out that there were hundreds of people collecting this beer, which had formed in this cul-de-sac. Mass drunkenness and a death from alcohol poisoning due to drinking so much had occurred. Brewing historian Martin Cornell states that newspapers at the time made no reference to the revelry or the later death. Instead, the newspapers reported that the crowds were well behaved. Cornell points out that the popular press at the time, well, they didn't really like the immigrant Irish population that lived in that area, so any misbehavior that occurred probably would have been reported. The area surrounding the rear of the brewery was just absolutely devastated. Watchmen at the brewery actually charged people money to review the remains of the destroyed beer vats, and several hundred spectators came to look at the entire scene of devastation. The mourners that were killed in the cellar were given their own wake at the Ship Public House, which is kind of a name for a restaurant or a tavern, in Bainbridge Street. The other bodies were laid out in a nearby yard by their families. The public came to see them and donated money for their funerals. Collections were also taken up more widely for these families due to the fact that there were children involved and women. So there was a coroner's inquest that was held. The details of the victims are exactly as I described them. Let's see, you had ages 3 years, 5 months, age 3, age 2, 14, 60, 27, and 65. The coroner for Middlesex was a man named George Hodson, and he took the jurors through the scene of the events. He actually took them to the scene, the coroner's jury, and they viewed the brewery and the bodies before evidence was later taken from witnesses. The first witness was that clerk, George Crick, who had seen the event happen in full. His brother was one of the men that had been injured. Now, the clerk said that the hoops on the vats failed 3 to 4 times a year, but without any problems previous to that. Accounts were also heard from Richard Hawes, the landlord of Tavistock Arms, whose barmaid had been killed in the accident, and several other people. The jury returned a verdict that the 8 had lost their lives casually, accidentally and by misfortune. The coroner's inquest had reached a verdict of an act of God. They found no blame. So the brewery did not have to pay any compensation. Nevertheless, the disaster, all the lost beer, the damage to the building, the replacement of the vat, they cost the company about £23,000. And after a private petition to Parliament, they recovered about £7,250 from an insurance company, which saved them from bankruptcy. The brewery went back into business soon afterwards, but it closed in 1921, over 100 years later, when they moved their production to Nine Elms Brewery in Wandsworth, which they had purchased 7 years earlier. At the time of its closure, the site covered 103,000 square feet. The brewery was demolished the following year, and the Dominion Theater was later built on the site. That brewery went into liquidation in 1961, and as a result of the accident, large wooden tanks were phased out across the brewing industry and replaced with concrete-lined vats. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the Great London Beer Flood. Let's get to your comments ASAP and see what just kind of chicanery you wiseacres have put into the chat room. I'm going to put some more flavorful looking beer in the room. And to the more than 18 people in the room right now, if you could like, share, and subscribe, those things don't cost you a penny. If you'd like to, it would really mean a lot if, you could donate at paypal.me/Tom Gully Show or our Patreon. All the information is down in the chat. You can also go to the TomGullyShow.com. 270 podcasts there for you. And our merch store, you can get to it through our website, or you can just go to cafepress.com/The Tom Gully Show, and you can get great things like other people have. Like Terry Nee, who bought the 20-ounce mug. Where is it? Here it is. The 20-ounce mug. There you go. Can you imagine having beer in this sucker? Thank you. There. That's a quarter next to that trash can with a handle on it. Great for coffee, tea, or the beverage of your choice. Yes. And please, for the love of God, check us out. Facebook, by the way, if you want to send me pictures and things like that, you can go to the Tom Gully Show podcast Facebook page, and that's where to get all the good stuff. But for right now, how about a beer? Incidentally, for those of you thinking, should I donate to the Tom Gully Show? Should I help the guy out till he gets monetized? Yeah. You don't have to. But then, you'll be making it a fact. You'll perpetuate the fact that Stuttering John makes more money than I do on streaming. If you can live with that yourself, that's fine. Whatever. That's the closest I will ever come to guilting you into. Let's see here. People are saying hi to each other in the chat room. We, of course, love a cheerful chat room. Reverend Wild Bill says, wait, in the what back machine? Wayback Machine. Yeah. 22-foot vat. What could go wrong? Well, if you remember the Great Molasses Flood, people saying hello to each other. All right, beers. Woo! People saying hello. And grab your mugs, boys. Free beer. A beer tsunami. Yes, Iris. A beer tsunami. Hey, Iris, for those of you who don't know, a talented fine artist. She's actually won many awards for it. And, she's a looker, too. Anyway, beer surfing says benefits. Reverend Wild Bill says that would be enough beer to fill an Olympic-sized pool. Wouldn't be one hell of a day at the pool. That's a great wave, beer serving. Yes, alcohol kills folks. Drink responsibly. That picture looks like a bunch of drunks. Well, they may have been inadvertently. Terry Nee says that must have been terrifying for you, Tom. You must have been a young lad. Well, I actually went to preschool with a few of the victims. Great beer flood, great fantasy, horrible reality. A tragedy that was covered up. Well, the tragedy wasn't covered up. It just covered up the fact that people were scooping up mugs of beer. Toby McGroby has arrived. Hello, Toby. By the gods. Yes, I hate it when they say it was an act of God. That it's like, really? What do you say to the people that are atheists? Bring some mugs when you come over. Yeah, I don't think we deliver internationally, unfortunately. You know, how awful for those little children. Yes, terrible. Terrible. Plus, they were near Tottenham, making it all the worse. Trevor Garner says, hey, Tom, let's grab a beer. Trevor, you know I don't drink. I brew my own hard cider. Last batch was 23%. It's too bad that the wolf isn't here. He brews his own stuff, and it's super high proof. And you can't even taste it, whether it's beer or whatever he makes. Man, it'll knock you on your keister. Julian Zeezer, who kindly donated to the program, says, Olympic pools are really just wasted, just filled with water the way they are. Yeah, unless an Olympic springs up around them. Well, you know, okay. All right, I got about a half an hour to fill here. And before I open the phone lines, I want to show you guys something. And I don't know how this came up in my YouTube, but it did. And I've sent it to some family members to gross them out, but I haven't really showed anybody else. And I was thinking to myself, the way that I do, that I might just go ahead and put it on the show here. And I really don't know if I should, but I'm gonna. And the thing is, once I watched one of them, you know how YouTube is. They're like, well, he must like this. So let's just jam his entire, suggested video with this stuff. And, man, it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty at all. Let me see, where is it? Oh, man. Okay, they've gotten rid of it. They've made him take it down or something. It's okay. I've got another one here. Man. I got this. This might not be as good as the one that I had, but it'll be sufficiently. Oh, I'm telling you. I'm going to turn the sound off. We don't need to hear the Asian ladies doing this. Let me see here. Sometimes toward the end, they get really. Let's see here. Let's just start right here. I'll put that there. I'll just leave that there. Okay, I'm going to warn you in advance that this may not be the most fun you've ever had in your life, but I don't believe I'm going to even show this. But I'm going to. And let's get rid of this beer. Okay, now I'm only showing you this because I didn't believe anything like this existed, and I can't believe that it's even on YouTube, and it's, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, first I got to make myself teeny tiny. Like Vince, the lawyer. And then I got to make this here bigger. And let's see. There we go. Okay. All right, kids. Let's see. All right. So here we go. Oh, come on. Man, don't be doing me like this. All right, I'm going to have to. Let me just go ahead and take this down a notch. Okay, stick with me. Stick with me, kids. Stop it. Stick with me, children. Come on. Come on. Be good to Daddy. Okay. This is a blackhead removal video. So this is super close up. This is not one of the worst ones I could show, by the way. Yeah. I'm a little upset they got rid of that one. Oh, boy. Yeah. A little upset they got rid of that one. Oh, boy. That's not great. That's just... Yeah, so there's probably like 100 of these. Some of them worse than others. The one that I had was particularly bad. I mean, it was really awful. It was really terrible. I mean, like a gallon coming out at once. Oh, here you go. Yeah, there you go. Here's where it starts to get bad. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, we don't want that. And that's coming out of somebody's face there. This can't be good. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay, I think we've seen enough, don't you guys? Don't you guys? Yeah, that's, yeah. But let's see what we got here. That's why I prefer mead. Yes, keep you in meat and mead. God loves the atheist also. He sure does. Aku says, if you want filler, Sabaton did a song on the Unkillable Soldier also. Yes, I saw that, but I can't play that because it's copyrighted. Trevor Garner says, Irving the Indian boy really wants to extend an olive branch. No, he just wants to put an olive in another drink. That's what he wants. That's what that guy wants. I don't know that I want an olive branch with that guy. Stacy Allen, yes, you should have stopped eating dinner. Fawn Leibowitz is here. Well, the person who told me Fawn Leibowitz was a certain unnameable person on this show, please raise their hand. Because I remember when it happened, and it was pretty obvious, and to all, not just me. Incidentally, I haven't banned you, but you're still on thin ice. You really are. You still really are on thin ice. Julian Caesar says, I just polished off 3 pepper and sausage sandwiches. Do your worst. Well, hello, Fawn. Twin? I don't know what that means. Aku says, is somebody getting wrapped around a lathe? No. Stacy says, I'm out. I'm sorry, Stacy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pimple or cyst popping? Yes. Yes. Oh, dear me, says Iris. Let's see. Very mild. There's videos of cyst draining. Some are human, some are animals. I've seen some of these videos, says Randy Ramos. And not bad as I thought it was going to be. I just had my breakfast. Okay, well, we're done now. Is it wrong that my first thought was, well, those kids would be dead now anyway? Oh, hey. I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know. I've seen those too. I saw that. I said that, yeah. Aku says, do you have Discord? I think of a few videos that would interest you, disgust you. Time will tell. By the way, our phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. Someone would like to call. I can't believe that this exists. Now, I know there's that show, Dr. Pimple Popper, and so I understand that, but that's got a story, and you meet the people, and you hear about their plight in life, and, and you get to see their big giant, and I always wonder, you guys ever heard of, what's it called? Soap. Now, the cyst people, that's different. One of the most popular episodes we ever did on this show was the guy that had the 60-pound neck cyst removed, neck tumor cyst thing. And I'm like, at a pound, wouldn't you just go ahead and, does it take getting to 60? I mean, even at 5 pounds, wouldn't you? Of course, I think Stuttering John's got that going on now. By the way, I am going to sue myself so that I can sue myself. Apparently, that's what everyone's doing these days. Fawn is a good girl and did nothing wrong. Okay. All right. All right, Fawn. I'm going to give you a pass, but there was one time we had a bunch of people, and then I saw Fawn in another chat room. So, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I got to say about that. 60 pounds. Was he going for a world record? No. 60 isn't even close to the world record. Not even close. Not even close. I think I've got some other. There's actually another one of these that I'm going to do. It's called the Dublin Whiskey Fire. And there were like 23 deaths in that one. And I won't reveal the cause of the deaths, but it did happen. So look up jigger removal. Fair warning. I'll look it up sometime. Ginny Sacramento from The Sopranos has the world record. Doopa Doopa Doo says, for a good time, watch face worms and bot fly removal videos. Those are good. Now, have you ever seen the person that had the worms in their brain that they're removing? That's another good one. Was the whiskey ruined? Not for some people. Ronald J. Bateman says, depraved drinking problems. No. Although, you have been to the condo for Bushmills. I used my special octagonal shot glasses for that one, too. A very rare drinking episode at my house. Ronald Bateman, the only person in the chat that's ever been to my dwelling. Ever. Well, Nancy Ramsey has. She was in here the other day. And the wolf, I guess, had been to my dorm room. Randy Ramos says, I wonder if the cats and dogs and other animals got drunk. I bet they did. There's no reason for us to believe they didn't. You ever seen those videos of over in Africa? There's these trees that drop their fruit, and the fruit lands on the ground and then becomes like fermented, and the monkeys eat it and get smashed. Well, Scotch kills me every time. That was Bushmills Irish whiskey. Of course, the Bushmills distillery in Ireland, the oldest continuously operating distillery in the world. I think 1709. I think they've been making that stuff since 1709. Self-marinated meat. Yeah, the monkeys. There's documentaries they've got of the monkeys just falling out of the trees and stuff. It's hilarious. There's a famous story. Bing Crosby, I think, and Phil Harris, who is a legendary drinker, were driving across the Scottish moors late into the evening, or it was like 2 a.m. or something. And in the distance, they could see a distillery that was brightly lit up, and it was producing, there were people there working. And Bing turned to Phil and said, well, Phil, they're still making it faster than you can drink it. And Phil said, yeah, but I'm keeping them SOBs working all night. Julian Zezer said, I think big vats are preferable because they keep the temperatures from swinging too wildly. Well, that might be true, but I would think a smaller vat would be easier to control the temperature, especially with modern technology. Benefit says, I've seen those vids of drunken African animals. They're pretty funny. They're hilarious. Ronald J. Bateman says, Irish whiskey and Scotch both destroy me. Ronald Bateman says, cheers. Yeah, all drinking destroys me. All of it. I can't do it. I just can't. Aku says, was Phil the one who seen an ad for Drink Canada Dry and wanted to give it a go? Yes, that would have been Phil. That would have been Phil with his good friend Frankie Remley. The famed Frankie Remley. What in the hey-hi-ho is going on with this phone here? I got a bunch of alerts and stuff. And I have older relatives, so I do have to check. I do so have to check occasionally. Yes, well, well, I've received another message here. Yes. I'll deal with that later. So anyway, what do we got? We got about 18 minutes left. I could call Trevor Garner. I don't know. I don't want to. Irving the Indian Boy is repellent to me. He's a blowhard. He's very Stuttering John-esque. Big ego. It's what we call in Texas, big hat, no cattle. He thinks he's smarter than he is. He's kind of like Stuttering John without the early undeserved success. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to ask you guys, what lawyer in the history of the world has told a client, you have to sue me? What has that ever, my advice is that you sue me. When has that ever happened that a lawyer has said to somebody, no, the smart thing is to sue me so that then you can sue someone else? What idiot believes that strategy? It's like, well, no, you have to shoot me so you can shoot this other. Come on. Who has ever in the history of ever heard that and says, yeah, you're still my lawyer. Yeah, this is a great strategy. There are so many case dismissed elements in the story that he's telling. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm just saying. Ronald says that lawyer would be disbarred or at least sanctioned. Yeah. Aku says, do you remember Country Garden building real estate? It was in the news. It's a Chinese company, and over there they have a huge issue with tofu dedge construction. I haven't heard of that, but I try not to know anything about tofu. I try whenever possible to avoid all knowledge of tofu. Are there any Dabbleverse shows later? Is there an emergency show going on later? I've been watching this Alec Baldwin Rust accidental shooting movie trial. And that girl had no business being the armorer on a movie, and it's sad to me. I mean, she's catching all sorts of blame, which is probably mostly justified, but I really blame the people that put her in that position. I really do. You're putting a 25-year-old in that spot. Her father's a famous armorer for movies. I understand that. But it seems to me like you would have to work on a number of things and be supervised for a much longer period of time than she was. And it's clear to me that she did not possess the maturity level necessary, and it's quite evident. It's also clear to me that if I ever want a job in the film industry, I'm going to have to get a lobotomy. Because all the people in that whole thing are just a little bit brain dead. Randy J. Ramos, cats are very smart and fussy animals. They are. But cats also like foods with very strong taste. The difference between dogs and cats, one of the biggest ones, is cats will eat until they're full and then they will stop eating. So if you leave food for a cat, if you're going to be gone all day, they will ration it, just at their normal eating pace. Dogs will eat everything you put in front of them in one sitting, so you can't leave them that long. Aku says, basically to cut costs, they fill concrete with anything, literally used slabs of tofu. I'm no architect, but I don't think that's going to work out. Have you seen the hay bale homes that they build in the desert, say in Arizona or New Mexico? Frankly, I'm fascinated by them, and I think it's really an interesting way to build a building. What they do is they get bales of hay. Many times they put Visqueen or plastic wrap around the bales of hay and shrink wrap it around. But then they stack the bales into whatever shape they want the house in. Obviously, they're not building more than one story because they have a lot of land in the desert and they can, use a lot of space on the ground. So they frame the house sort of with bales of hay, and then they stucco those. They reinforce it in places, with wood or posts or things of that nature. They do have to have some, load-bearing elements to it. But you can kind of design your own house with bales of hay, and then they just stucco the outside, and off you go. Bob's your uncle. There you are. Lyndon says he's been watching the trial also. Clearly they were cutting corners. There's no question about that. Aku says I can send links. That's okay. I'm good. Yeah, go ahead and send some links. Send them to the, become a member of the Facebook page, The Tom Gully Show, and then you can send me the mail there. Let's see. SG Fanboy says, drunken African animals. Christ, guys, it's 2024. Are we drunken African animal shaming? Is that it? Diana O'Brien says, I tried tofu once. Only. It's disgusting stuff. It is. Aku says, aye. Yeah, any pictures you guys want to send, I'd be happy to put them up on the show. Particularly Sven, if you want to show me a boat you're building. Sven sent me pictures of his girlfriend. She's a looker. And unfortunately, I didn't, I don't feel like I can post that because I don't have her permission. But, I've got Randy here. People seem to love this picture of Randy Ramos, the chef. Check that out. Check that guy out. Look at that. He's ready for business. You know what I'm saying? The guy's not messing around. But send me any pictures you have, and I'll put them up. Here's those pot stickers that he made the other day. Man, oh man, I want some of that. I am starving right now. Let's see. Tofu pizza. No, that won't be happening. Akko says, I restore cars, among other things. Well, send me a picture. I'll put it up. I'll convert it into a JPEG. Thank you, StreamYard. And put it up. 972-994-6822 is the number to call if you'd like to rap on the air. You're more than welcome to. I'm not interested in speaking to Trevor's buddy. They have their own show. I don't mind talking to Trevor, and I don't mind talking to Zombie Wolf, his other friend. But Irving the Indian Boy is just a bridge too far. And he said too many stupid things about me that don't bother me, but it's just like, that's dumb. That's just, come on. We all know the 3 criteria to being on the Tom Gully Show. You gotta be interesting, informative, or entertaining. You don't have to be all 3. You just have to be one. So, Julian Zeezer says tofu needs to be doctored up with flavoring soaked in soy or oyster sauce, etc. By itself, it's yuck. Well, I agree. But by that point, it's like, well, then what am I doing? It's like those rice cakes that people put stuff on to make them edible. And it's like, well, by the time you're done, you just ought to have eaten the other stuff and thrown the rice cake away. Not going to say anything about the real meat ribs I'm having for supper. Oh, I will not be having anything that good. What's in a pot sticker, Tom? Intrigued. Randy, tell her what's in a pot sticker. I'm not going to, there's a chef in the room, and he made it, so I'm not going to. Benefits says, well, I can't ever be on the Great Tom Gully Show. I'm boring. No, you're not. Your name alone indicates that you're not boring. Randy says, I'm not any of those. Well, you may not think so, but I think you're interesting, and you'd certainly be informative. And you've been entertaining in the past. And please tell us what's in your pot stickers. Doggone it. Dag Nabia. Let's see here. Those were poor, but you can pretty much put anything in there except talking. Randy says tofu. No, there's no tofu in the pot stickers. Tell us what's in them. Now the suspense is killing me. And poor Diana O'Brien, you know, she'd like to go out to a restaurant and have a whatever. Iris says, time to start my day here, my dear friend. Have a lovely evening amongst these lovely people. Thank you, Iris. Iris has got class. She's classy. She's classy. That's what we like about her. You're a wonderful person, Iris. It was wonderful to have you in our chat room. Stop by anytime. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and then you'll always know when we're on. Those are pork pot stickers. It's like pulling teeth to get this guy to tell you the ingredients. So there's pork in it. Looks to me like there's some bok choy or some greens of some kind. There's a sauce. I don't know. Iris is giving us hearts. There you go. Toby says, yeah, you got class. Everything we do here is classy. This show is classy. That's why we tell you about beer floods. And we show you blackhead removal. Because we're classy. Terry Nee is saying, what's in the pot sticker? What's in the pot sticker? What's in the pot sticker, man? Stacy said maybe he doesn't want to share his secret recipe, Gully. Well, Stacy, with all due respect, when you go to Nevermore in Indianapolis, they're going to tell what's in the pot stickers. You don't have to give the recipe, but some of the ingredients might be nice. You know, probably anchovies. Fun. Diane O'Brien says, maybe a secret recipe. Yeah, don't give us the recipe. Just tell us what, come on. High class black kids. Yeah. Randy Ramos says, I thought you were talking about what in the pot sticker, not what the other things are. Okay. Tell us what some of the ingredients are. You got a bunch of veggies, greens or something piled on. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Aku says, finished a 62 Buick Special a few months back. All right. I am so sick and tired of this. I'm telling you. I'll find out myself. Screw it. Find out myself. No, it's okay. I'll find out myself. Unless that's an old picture. I'll find out myself. Good Lord. I'd have better luck getting classified documents. All right, I'm closing the phone lines. I don't even know why I open them up, to be honest with you. I don't know why I do any of the things I do anymore. Tomorrow's a Friday show, too. I love those. I can't get enough of those. Come on. Now this page is taking forever to load. We got the guy right here in the room. And it's just, Food and spirits. Explore our menus. Find food. There. It says view menu. Come on. Just started raining real hard here. You guys might be able to hear it. It is raining really hard. Okay, let's see here. I have the bonus, Greek falafel, fistful of fries, open range, breakfast club, Quince Pizza, chicken confidential, Spaceballs, the burger. Oh, there's the pizza. Oh, God, I can't find it. That must be from a different restaurant or something. It's probably from a different restaurant. King Cali roast, Spaceballs, the burger. Those are burgers. There. Those are from another restaurant that you worked at. Oh, that's really now I'm double ticked off. Just for crying out loud, tell me. It's not that. Oh, there it is. That's a very good Nicholson. I didn't do Nicholson. Randy, don't. Keep it to yourself. Make him guess. Ha ha, he told me. He's from Indianapolis, so am I. Ha ha ha, he knows my sisters. You can't get between us. Ha 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 ha. Sriracha mayo and also has a bed of lettuce with some sprouts on top, pepper chili sauce that tossed in. Thank you, Randy. I'll go see him at Nevermore. It looks like some good first. And I had to look at the burgers too. Now I want a burger so bad. And it's raining, so I'm not leaving. Julian Caesar says it's not the ingredients, it's the cooking technique. We're just trying to give him an idea of what is in there. I hear that Texas rain. There you go. The pot sticker's probably not in anything anymore. I don't know. I can hear it. Randy Ramos says, I just called. I just closed the phone lines because I had to open up a window to find out what was in the damn thing. You're losing it, Gully. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. Even if he decided he wasn't going to tell me, I would sick my sisters on him. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. We're just a couple minutes from end time anyway. Now let me check and see if there's any other Dabbleversey things going on that people might want to watch. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to watch Stuttering John. It's so much more fun to watch Rico and BS and see him there. That's the place. And it doesn't take as long. Does not take as long. Oh, man, there's one of my movie reaction shows, Popcorn in Bed, is doing the reaction to Kill Bill. I'll be watching that tonight. Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? I got to get up in the morning and go to the grocery store, and I'm turning into Bob Levy. Because if I don't, I won't do it on the weekend while I'm doing the radio stuff. Julian Caesar says, down in North Carolina, if you want to sell pot, you have to buy a tax stamp. They call them pot stickers. Aku says those pot stickers made with homemade dough filled with ground pork, ginger, garlic, and cabbage are so versatile. You can fill them with anything you want and as full as you want. Sounds like a pierogi to me. Sounds like a pierogi to me. I don't see any other Dabbleversian things on. Of course, tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern is Replayables. Replayables. And of course, tomorrow we will find out if Stuttering John indeed will be filing that lawsuit. I'm betting he will be filing an excuse. That's what he'll be filing. Ha. Yeah, I said it. Ha. I'm not going to post that chat, Fawn. Ha, 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 ha. A pierogi with thin skin. I don't do any promotion for that person. A pierogi with thin skin. I love pierogies, man. They're so good. When I worked at WHBU, person-to-person radio in Anderson, Indiana, the sports guy, I produced the evening news, and we did an hour's worth of local news in Indianapolis, Indiana, with Tim Stiles, news director. And, of course, Bill Stanjikevich was the sports guy. And Bill did all of the Anderson Indians basketball games, big basketball school in Indiana, high school. And so I worked with him a lot because he would do the roundup show afterwards of all the area basketball games on Friday nights. And he was from the region. which is the area around Chicago, including that part of Indiana, like Gary and East Chicago and Maryville and Cherville and Valparaiso, around, yeah. And he would go away for the holidays and bring back these big, greasy paper grocery bags full of pierogies, and he would give me one. Mama Stankiewicz took care of you. Oh, God, they were good. Exactly. Watching raw John footage is hazardous. I get itchy. Julian Z says, I make pot stickers, but just follow a YouTube recipe. They come out great, but a lot of work only for guests. Lyndon says, thanks, Tom. I say the drunk does not file. I repeat, the drunk does not file. Aku says, sorry, I'm ceramicing a dump box truck. That's pretty cool. Terry Nee says, I know a lawyer who would love your hair, Tom. I don't understand that, but the one in the the one in the rust gun thing. Toby McGrovey says, dog keyboard again. Sorry, she's too cute and small to be angry with. Well, good. Well, good. Good. I guess that's about all we have time for this evening. I can't think of anything else we might need to do. Let's see here. Do I have any other... other than that, I don't think of any other content I have, really. Let's see here. What is ceramicing? Sounds like lining it with some sort of protective coating. Yeah, it sounds like that to me, too. Tom, please call into VTL tomorrow. It would be epic. I will never call into that program. I've watched it, and I've watched it enough to know I don't ever need to watch it again. Occasionally, if I'm with some lawyers at lunchtime in our palatial break room, I will pop it on just to watch them laugh. But otherwise, that's not something I'm interested in. Think about it. Who always wears a hat? A lawyer who always wears a hat. I don't know. Diana, you're asking me to think, Terry. That's never been a wise course of action. Diana O'Brien says, I educated every time I watch these lives. Okay. VTL creeps me out lately. Lately? Let's see here. Oh my God, Gully, look at Terry's picture. All right, hold on. I don't look at the pictures. Well, he would love any hair. Chef also wears a hat. You're darn right they do. Chef Boyardee, hat. Toby McGrovey says, though I love that VTL impression show you did, Tom. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't think... Can you guys believe that the Shuli Network hasn't showed my maybe for copyright reasons they haven't done it, but I cannot believe they haven't showed that Star Trek clip that I gave them. I really can't believe that. It's astounding to me. It is such a dead-on... What do I know? What do I know? Terry says, eat something. Exactly. Eat something. Stacy said, I sent Joe the link. I sent him the link. I also sent him the link. Oh, God. Fun. I'm not going to ban you, but I'm just going to say it's going to be very difficult for you to get your chat remarks into the actual video unless when they contain those three letters. It's almost, it's probably because they don't think I'm like Captain Kirk. Oh, you didn't get it, that it's not Captain Kirk that we're referring to? Okay. Hilarious. Stacy says, I like Fawn. Well, you put her on your show. Which Stacy should have a show. And I believe very strongly that the Shawnee Zone should have Stacy either on that show or she should guest, like, for topics that she's interested in. I believe this very, very strongly in the bottom of my soul. And that's a long drop. That's a long drop. All right, kids. I'm just wasting time now. I'm just wasting your time now. Stacy says, thanks, but I like to stay behind the scenes. Okay. Okay. That's okay. That's fine. I thought you were a little more of a warrior than that, but that's fine. Nobody says you had to be on camera. You could do the thing where you're like the Potato or some of these other people or Discount Donnie. You could just have a picture up. You could just have the same picture that's in your profile and you could just speak. Yeah. You could also do speak to text. You just type it and make the speak to text go out over the... I got a million ideas. Pioneer Chicken was the best. No idea. Night, says Trevor. Good luck to you, Trevor. I don't get it. Maybe it's a secret troll thing, but I doubt it. It's weird because when VTL Star Trek Trip is brought up, it's completely ignored. I know. Maybe it's me. Maybe they just don't like me anymore. Maybe I did something by mistake. Ever have city chicken? I never have. If Shawnee covers the murder of Marilyn Monroe, I will be on. I'm eyeballs deep in that right now. Oh, I could talk to you about that, Stacey Allen. I know a lot about that. See, some of these things I think are poppycock, but there's other things that have facts and records and that then, you know. Julian Caesar says, we all need to get our own shows in short time we have left before AI performers take over. Don't get me started on AI. I've got people trying to cram AI down my throat left and right. And it's like, it does a great job with illustrations and images, does a great job with a lot of things. Writing ain't one of them. I was the executive chef at Hollyhock Hills. Well, Hollyhock Hills, renowned for the fried chicken. I had a smoking hot home ec teacher who was also the hostess at Hollyhock Hills back in the day. Yeah. I'd go, beg my parents to take us to Hollyhock Hills just to see her. All right, I guess... With all that being said, tomorrow's a Friday show. If anybody's got any great suggestions, you can email them to me at Tom Gully Show Podcast on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. PayPal.me/Tom Gully Show. We so appreciate your donations. And the Patreon, the rest of the stuff, the bottle of scroll. With all that being said, the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.